What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video. And today is a very long-awaited day. It is a what I would do mock draft. So screw realism, screw everything else. We are going to be going off my personal board, which is not on the screen, but it will be right up in here. I'll walk you guys through everything. Don't worry about that. Of course, because the board is always changing. But as of right now, we are going to enjoy a very fun 3-round mock draft. Of course, it's going to be played out over the next couple of days. If you guys do like mock drafts, of course, like, comment, subscribe. We're over 3,000, so holla. And we have a lot of really good links down in the description. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Go to that Discord. We got over 115 people in there. Absolutely awesome. Good community there. And of course, if you guys want to talk to me, comment section or the DMs of any of those, I'm your guy. Feel free because I enjoy the talk. I do. But let's kick into this. Let's have a bit of fun because this is going to be something I've been waiting for a long time. So at number 1, I've been justifying this pick for a long time. I don't need to justify it anymore, but I still will for you guys. So this first pick, if you guys have done any form of business schooling or economics, you guys know the idea of opportunity cost. Basically is, what am I giving up now for something else? So a lot of people are saying, let's go Aidan Hutchinson at number 1 for the Jags. Still be a phenomenal move, but you give up on Aidan Hutchinson, you still do need a tackle. Cam Robinson was on a 1-year deal, not going to be there anymore. I mean, the line played honestly pretty well this year, especially for the expectations. But that doesn't mean that you fork over 15 to 20 million a year for subpar play, especially when you have Trevor Lawrence behind there. So we already know tackle is going to be our second round target. I'm just going to be honest. Trevor Penning probably would be there. He would. But I don't think that you want an experienced tackle versus a guy. Maybe we could see maybe Majai there. Arnold Ebiketie. I have first round grades on these dudes. It doesn't mean they'll go in the first, but it's going to be very hard to get out of the realistic mock mode to go to what I would do mock mode. Bottom line, I'm going to be going Evan Neal here, just like at the beginning of every single draft. I think that he's phenomenal. His athleticism combined with his size, combined with his technique, is almost flawless. He has a couple minor things that he can switch, but that just shows that he's a real human being, and that is phenomenal. I haven't ranked lower than Penei Sewell than I had Penei Sewell last year, but still a phenomenal player. He's around that Rashawn Slater level. I do believe that, but phenomenal pick right there. If I'm the Lions here, again, if I were in this spot, I would trade back. The problem is, if I were in the spot of any other team, I would not trade up. I wouldn't. The Giants, no. The Jets, no. So I'm going to be going the way that I normally do. We got Aidan Hutchinson here. I think that's the best guy on the board. Now, for the Texans, this could be an interesting spot because I could definitely see them move back with a team like the Jets who want to be able to solidify maybe an edge presence. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And honestly, the Jets probably should move up a little bit. It's a very small price, in my opinion, to pay to move back or to just flip with a team at number 3, especially if they're not getting many bids. Again, KT is the best player on the board. You're not going to get a ton of first-round picks for a safety, even though I think Kyle Hamilton's a defensive god. And the rest of the offensive line is not worth enough for teams to just haul over some major cash. So the Texans are going to engage in a trade with the Jets. I think this is beneficial for both squads. I do. I think that the Jets could definitely use. Let's see. Maybe we could fork over. I'm surprised that a fourth rounder ain't going to get it done. Come on. We'll do at least 2/4 just to make it more realistic. We're going to be moving up one spot. Happy go lucky. But KT is going to be here. I don't think the Texans need to go after KT nearly as much as the Jets do. I think a team like the Texans need to prioritize offensive line. And whether that's Ikem Ekwonu or Charles Cross is up to you. My personal opinion is Charles Cross is a bit better. And for a guy like Davis Mills, I would be a little bit worried about tackles whiffing. And I think Charles Cross is a lot more consistent. So I'm going to be going Charles Cross here out of Mississippi State. Again, I would personally also like Tyler Linderbaum here. But if I'm the Texans, it's like, man, I don't like my tackle situation at all right now, especially if I'm trying to shop Laramie Tunsil. I'd much rather have somebody who can step up at tackle. Charles Cross has done a phenomenal job developing himself. It's up in the air whether it's him or you could even go after Tyler Linderbaum. But again, I do think tackle has immense value. At this spot, I think that the right move would be to go tackle. I do. We're going to go Icky. We're going to go Icky here. You guys can see where my priorities lie. Even though I love Kyle Hamilton, just if I were these teams, it's like, dude, you can't pass on this. At number 6, so at this spot, I think you should trade back with a team that might want somebody who is of that elite caliber. And I know that if I'm the Giants at the next pick, it's either Linderbaum or Hamilton. So honestly, I could see a team trying to jump up to select him. And if I'm a team like the Falcons, where I need a defensive back or I need just somebody there in my secondary to help out AJ Terrell, that would be my primary goal here. Unfortunately, they're in the same division, so we're not going to be able to make that work. Unfortunately, Kyle Hamilton's going to fall, even though he's my number 3 guy in this draft. I think he's phenomenal. I love him. That being said, no teams are going to trade up here. So I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton here. When you think about it, guard could be the right move. Like you get Linderbaum, put him to guard, or have him be the heir apparent at center. But, the Kyle Hamilton addition to the squad, especially if it is at all a new regime, it could be a very safe pick that has a very high floor and also a very high ceiling. I'm not comfortable going after Kenyon Green at this point, and Tyler Linderbaum's a top 5 dude to me. But yeah, I think this is the right move. I saw it actually on Austin Gales, but Kyle Hamilton is just kind of too good to pass on. And you don't always have to go for need. I don't think a quarterback's worth the number 6 pick. I don't, even Sam Howell, who I've graded as my number 1, I think the earliest I would take him is 9. Just again, this is where you build your team up and then you kind of tank for next year's class or a year following. You have a stud young team. You could also make a move in free agency. You guys get to see how to make it work. For the Giants, I think this, I've been waiting to do this forever. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Tyler Linderbaum and Ike Ekwonu on the squad. Yeah, I think that's the right move. Even though Ikem, I have actually quite a bit. I have him around Kenyon Green level. He's still a solidified number 3 in this class. Kenyon Green, I have him graded as a left tackle more than anything. I think Ike's strength just takes it to a whole new level. But yeah, I've been waiting to go to offensive linemen for the New York Giants for a very, very long time. For the Falcons, if I'm sitting here, it's Stingley, Karlaftis. Hey, Karlaftis is so good. He's such a beast. He could work really well with Peas as well. I mean, at this point, he is very valuable. If I were the Falcons, it's him, or, you could even look at Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's not going to test well, though. That's the only problem. So, again, it's a tough one. I think that I'd probably go Karlaftis here. He's going to be a day 1 impact for you. He just has that explosiveness, that technicality. He's very well balanced. One of the few edge rushers in his class that's really impactful in the run game as well. He is my number 3 edge. So, yeah, I'm going to be going George Karlaftis at this spot. Yeah, if I'm the Falcons, that's what I'm going to be going after all the time. And the Broncos, I'm going to be going Sam Howell. I know that I have somebody in the comment section saying, hey, what if we wait till the 2nd round for a quarterback? It depends on the NFL's opinion of guys like Malik Willis, Carson Strong, Matt Corral. If you can get them in the 2nd, or even Sam Howell here, if you can get them in the 2nd, phenomenal. But again, this is my mock draft. So for me, I have a 1st round. He's my number 1 QB. Sam Howell is going to be the guy for this team. I think he'd be a great fit too, obviously pairing up with Javonte Williams. So that's where I'm going to be sticking my flag for the Jets. Oof. So tackles off the board entirely, except Kenyon Green. I very well might be pulling the trigger on Kenyon Green here. By the way, I'm not a huge fan of Derek Stingley. He should be going around 10 to 15. It's a great spot for him. But Kenyon Green, again, you look at the drop-off on the offensive line. Tyler Smith is listed as returning. That kills me because I love Tyler Smith. That being said, Kenyon Green's a left tackle that can also play guard. I think that is going to be a much bigger value to me in the short and long run. So pairing up Kenyon Green with ABT in the short term and then using that right tackle in the long run, That's how I do it. And again, as you guys can see, I have a tendency to like the offensive and defensive line because that's how you win. So yeah, you got guys like Derek Stingley, Andrew Booth in here. I don't dislike Derek Stingley. He's still in my top 10 players. Just he's very good player. Just again, not that hyped up about Stingley. Again, I'll tell you guys my reasons about it when the time comes. But for Washington, yeah, I think this is a great spot to go after my number 2 QB, Malik Willis. Guy has a crazy arm, has some decision-making issues, but to be honest, you need to win games at this point. Like you've been pretty much having a game manager lose games. So I'd much rather be 9-8 or 8-9, knowing that my quarterback has won me 8 of those games and maybe lost me 9. And then in time, those losses will decrease because this guy, I comp him to Deshaun Watson. The guy is just phenomenal. His wide receivers, his offensive line, his offensive scheme have been pretty much cheeks. I don't blame him for not playing well. The guy is amazing. So I'm definitely going to be doing this. If I were Washington, I think that's the right move. Malik Willis out of Liberty, going to Washington. Number 12, watch this actually be how the draft unfolds. That's going to be the funny thing. Like, can you imagine if like my BS mock where I'm going to be doing everything I want to do ends up going this way? It'd be ridiculous. This point, it's down to Stingley or Gardner. And again, it's really up to your preference. I think that Sauce might fit better. Like Sauce is just so good. And he performed on a whole new level compared to what we thought he would against Jameson Williams. I think I'm going to go Sauce before Derek Stingley. And again, you guys can criticize this all you want. I don't really care because I'm not doing this saying, oh, Sauce will go before Derek Stingley. I'm not. This is just saying, hey, if I'm in control of all these teams and I'm doing what I want, this is exactly what I'm going to do. So number 13 with the Browns, I know they need a wide receiver really badly. Garrett Wilson's here, but I also kind of want to trade back because Derek Stingley's on the board. And if I'm the Browns, I don't want the Ravens to be the team who gets Derek Stingley. So we're going to be shipping out of the AFC to the NFC with a team that has a lot of draft capital. The Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I mean, again, Eagles fans are going to like rejoice in this. For that much of a jump, I will justify sending a 4th round pick through. I will. It was already going to be very likely with a 6th. That's not realistic. So we're going to be sending in that 4th, and we're going to be picking up Derek Stingley Jr. here out of LSU. Again, I think Sauce is a better fit for the Vikings than Derek Stingley. Even if it were flipped, I would still go with Sauce. I would still trade it for Sauce Gardner if I were the Eagles. Again, Sauce Gardner is a top 10 player on my big board. So, yeah. And again, I'm going to be redoing this as the offseason goes on. We watch every single player. Oof. Yeah. Number 14. Again, this is not realistic. I'm holding my excitement to just pull David Ojabo here because of that high school connection to Dafe Owe. We're going to chill it. We're going to relax. I think they definitely still could use another edge player. I do. I'm just looking at the guys who are on the board, seeing who I have as 1st round grades. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go with my 4th edge. I'm gonna go Jermaine Johnson to the Ravens. If I'm the Ravens, I see this guy. He has insane pass rushing ability. His IQ's through the charts. His burst is out of this world. If I'm sitting there and I'm the Ravens, again, this is following my board, I'm in love with Jermaine Johnson. What he brings to the table is out of this world. Huge fan of him. I love him. I might not be the super fan that some of these people who just go off the charts just fall in love with, but that guy's special. That guy is special. At number 15 for the Brownies. So at this spot, I would honestly consider going linebacker here. You got Nakobe Dean, who's just a lightning quick. But Devin Lloyd's going to be a little bit more of what you have in a Mike. So personally, if I'm sitting there, I need a wide receiver. Again, Garrett Wilson's such a beast. He is Odell Beckham Jr. Because I know that I'm going to have a bunch of linebackers go. I do. Even JoJo Doman's in the list. I love that. And Leo Chenal. Oh, man. I mean, Devin Lloyd isn't a guarantee for me at all. I will say that. But man, like Nakobe Dean would be fun, wouldn't he? Like Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd on this squad would be great. I don't think that there will be enough wide receivers by the next round for me to go. I'm going to still stick with my gut. Go Garrett Wilson. I do love him. He's a beast. Number 16 for the Eagles. I mean, again, this is a team that I would have wanted Jermaine Johnson for. That's kind of like my thing. I love Jermaine Johnson. But at this spot, I think I might want to go after someone like Jaquan Brisker. I got to look at what I would do for these next guys. I'm probably going to go edge here since there's no offensive line. So I'm going to screw over the Chargers with one of my favorite picks to them. Oh, dude, it's David Ojabo or else Travon Walker. Both these guys are so damn good. Both of them fit where they're going to because Travon can play anywhere. Man, like this is just such a good squad. I mean, you also have Arnold Ebiketie here, Kingsley and Nagbear, Myjai Sanders. All these guys got first round grades to me. And I mean, for the Eagles, you could replace Brandon Graham with another big ass dude in Travon Walker. It wouldn't be a bad idea. And his athleticism is through the charts. Again, both these guys, I had David Ojabo graded a bit lower than Travon Walker. So I think the physical upside of Travon is something that I would do if I were the Eagles over David Ojabo. Again, Ojabo still a very talented edge rusher that I would honestly send here, but there are really good corners on the board. You still got Andrew Booth, that I would consider it. But I think because Ojabo doesn't Ojabo would be such a good fit on this team, but I think they would need a more day one impact than David Ojabo. If I were sitting there, it's like, ooh, it's him or else. I mean, the corners are so deep in this class. I'd be okay with it next. I would take my chances on David Ojabo before Kingsley Nagbear, Myjai Sanders, and Arnold Ebiketie, even though, again, I have first round grades on all of them. I'm going to go David Ojabo here. Number 18 for the Saints. Again, there's a reason these guys are falling. That's just the way my board's built. I think Andrew Booth wouldn't be a bad option, but I do believe that wide receiver is the right route. And if I'm them, I'm looking at Drake London. I'm getting very happy. I think that he'd be a phenomenal player. Chris Olave, I'd be happy. Jameson Williams, I'd be happy. All these guys are absolutely amazing players. Jahan Dotson, Treylon Burks. You can take your pick of the litter. I'm going to go Jameson. I think he does just add a very nice stretch to the game. Jameson is coming off an ACL tear, but we've seen people come back from Achilles tears and may put up 95 yards in a game in the NFL. That's called Cam Akers. And that was in 10, probably 13 weeks. I think Jameson Williams could come back and do just fine. So Jameson Williams is going to go there. Again, if I'm the Eagles at this spot, I'm going defense again, but with the safety class being so weak, I'm going to go Jaquan Brisker. I've been waiting to go Jaquan Brisker for the squad. Waiting. And again, with Daxton, your next best bet is Lewis Cine. This is a terrible safety class. At the start of the year, it was one of the best I've ever seen. Jalen Catalon's in there. You have Brandon Joseph in there. Jordan Battle. You had a stud safety class. That means next year is going to be a stud safety class, which is unfortunate. But Jaquan Brisker, definitely worth it. Also can play some linebacker. So, hey-o. But for number 20 for the Steelers, I mean, they got to go offensive line, but nobody here is good enough because for once, I'm actually doing what the hell I would want. So for my Steelers, a quarterback is definitely the one of need. I'd probably be looking at Matt Corral. He just feels like more of a Steeler. Again, we could go after someone like Andrew Booth, who I have very highly rated. Just another really good corner. There's just so many good players at this point. You're just kind of deciphering which one's the best for you. And Andrew Booth has such good speed. But again, next round, there's really good corners in this class. Even if we get Kobe Bryant in the next round, where is he at? Marcus Jones is a fun guy too. I would feel a lot more comfortable going after a quarterback here than that. And Matt Corral is going to be my next quarterback. So we're going to go with that. Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. again, he does kind of feel like a Steeler. As long as he stays healthy, he'll be fine. Again, this is not realism. For the people who are commenting, oh my God, why would you take Matt? Like, why would the Steelers take Matt Corral over Kenny Pickett? They wouldn't. I would. So that's why I'm doing that. Number 21, oh man, this is a great spot too. You can go any way that you want with the Patriots here. I think I might go wide receiver though. I think I might. I think Treylon Burks would be the guy I would want the most. But if I'm like factoring in scheme fit and I'm the Patriots, Drake London's one hell of a hard worker and he's very versatile. It also gives Mac Jones a bigger target to throw at. So I'm gonna go Drake London here out of USC. I think that it's the right move for the franchise if I were sitting there. At 22, I think this got to be Andrew Booth. I think it has to be. Wide receiver, again, you could definitely go after it because I could so see them going after someone like Chris Olave to just replace what they lost in Henry Ruggs, like a really good route runner. That wouldn't be a bad option at all. Again, there's a lot of really good options that you can go with because Andrew Booth, again, I'm not hating on him. I think he's a phenomenal player. Just when I'm sitting in the seat here, I'm looking at how deep this corner class is, and I'm like, damn. I mean, like in the third round, I can get Kobe Bryant, who should be a second, or I can get Jermaine Waller in the third or fourth. I can get Marcus Jones in the third. Like these guys are legit corners. Versus in the third round, I'm not getting even Sky Moore. I'm going to be going after Kyle Phillips, right? Which I'm kind of creating that issue myself because I'm drafting so many wide receivers. But I think going after someone like Chris Olave would be the right move. So we're going to do that. For the Cards, if I'm sitting here, I'm the Cardinals. I'm like, dude, there's some great edges here. There's also some really good corners. I'm not passing up Andrew Booth any day of the week. No, because I need an actual really good corner. This guy has crazy speed. He has crazy agility. Wide receiver is something that you should target, but sometimes the value you're getting like wide receiver 6. Get corner 2/3/4, depending on your rankings, which for me, Andrew Booth is probably corner 3. Yeah, he's corner 3. Right now, Sauce is arguably cornerback 1. It's like a 1A, 1B right here with Derek Stingley. And then we got 3 right there. With the Cowboys, if I were them, you look at all these players on the board, it's like, ooh, like where do we go? Because you can go anywhere and be perfectly fine. Again, Nakobe Dean's falling for no reason. It's like kind of sucks. Nakobe Dean wouldn't be bad if you move Micah to edge. That wouldn't be bad. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing that. We are actually going to be going after a wide receiver, and we're going to go after Treylon Burks or Jahan Dotson. Hold up. Or Jahan. Because Jahan Dotson wouldn't be a very bad replacement for Michael Gallup. Very solid route runner. I think you go Treylon Burks here. I think you do. Just the athletic upside is ridiculous. I love him. At number 25 for the Bengals, we very well might just go Devin Lloyd here. At this point, it's like, screw it. We might. They're not escaping the first round. These guys are both first-round quality linebackers to me. Chad Muma is in there as well. So, yeah, I like that a lot for this team. I will say, you could look at corner here, and I think that's probably the right move. I think the cornerback depth is very solid in this class, but you're picking so late that a lot of these teams that passed on corner in the first, you got the Raiders, you got the Patriots, the Steelers. You're going to have to either trade up to get a good corner or else you can just lock one in right now. The offensive line is just not that good. It's not. So Roger McCreary out of Auburn is going to be the right move for this team. A very solid safety corner overall. Can't speak. But, I do like him. I do like him a lot. Number 26, I'm hammering this all day. It's one of these two guys. I would go Devin Lloyd just because I want actual true Mike. Nakobe Dean at 225, 6 foot. Usually these shorter linebackers aren't going to be that real enforcer over the middle. Even though I like Nakobe more, I like the fit of Devin Lloyd the most on this team. 27 for the Bills. I could even see him going after Nakobe Dean. I could. They definitely, like Tremaine Edmonds doesn't have a very good PFF grade at all this year. I think it's somewhere in like the 30s. No bueno, bottom line. But that being said, I still think when you look at the interior defensive line class, I have Jordan Davis as a second along with Devontae Wyatt. DeMarvin Leal wouldn't be bad. He would not. I think he would be a very fun guy to put on the interior and just use kind of in that same role as, I keep wanting to say Aaron Donald, Ed Oliver. That wouldn't be a bad option. Now, corner 2 is a huge need, and you have some amazing talents on the board. You also could go wide receiver. Again, if I'm here, I'm potentially going to be losing Cole Beasley soon, as well as obviously Emmanuel Sanders. Not really. And you got Gabriel Davis pretty much to replace Emmanuel. So I think somebody like Jahan Dotson would be a very good addition to this team. I don't know if any of these wide receivers are going to make it to the next round. I don't. So again, let's look at the guys who are on the board. Just, you got Nakobe Dean here. Honestly, if I'm the Bills, I might want to trade back and just take the best of what's left. Wouldn't be a bad option. For somebody, this will be actually quite fun. I have Josh Pascal rated as right now my highest interior defensive lineman. Like, it's like flexing around with DeMarvin Leal. That'd be pretty entertaining, wouldn't it? But still, I don't like that flexibility that Leal has with Boogie Basham, as well as Gregory Rousseau there. I think DeMarvin Leal fits best on the edge anyways. So we're going to be passing him up. And I think the right move would be either go wide receiver or corner here. And Trent McDuffie's not in that group for me. Kyler Gordon could be, but Jahan Dotson is a perfect guy to put on the squad. So we're going to go Jahan Dotson. We're going crazy with wide receivers right now, but that is okay. For the Lions, I think the right move would be to go to Nakobe Dean here. If I'm sitting there, it's like, dude, we need an actual impact linebacker on the squad. This guy can cover. This guy can blitz. We don't need him to play a specific role. He can carve out his own. So for me, all day, every day, Nakobe Dean, yes, please. Number 29 for the Chiefs. Dude, if I'm sitting there, I'm them. Like, you see some really good guys on the board. I could trade back with a team that's dying for a QB, but I'm going to go edge here. I am. And you got Myjai Sanders. I don't think he fits properly. Kingsley Enagbare is probably the guy who would fit, because Arnold Ebiketie, also a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go Kingsley. I've been doing that for a very long time, but he's not the next guy on my list. Again, you have to fluctuate what these teams' rankings of the guys are. That's why I didn't put up my board, so people didn't see exactly my rankings. Plus, I'm going to be figuring out something for you guys to see all that stuff. Number 30 for the Buccaneers. It's just so tough not to be like, oh, well, I want to do this for you guys, like this player. Like, it's tough not to go realism here. It's tough because I do like to blend in my take in there as well, but you can only do that to a certain point. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think a linebacker wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't. And I think this guy deserves to be a first-round pick, a late first in my books. Chad Muma out of Wyoming. He's going to be going probably by like pick 35 anyways. The guy is just so good. So good. Talk about a guy who can cover as well as blitz. This guy is phenomenal. His speed is arguably more than Nakobe Dean. I don't see guys who are 240 pounds that move like that. He is rare. Also, that is actually someone who I would, because he's going to be playing the Senior Bowl. He's somebody who I would have on big riser alert. So keep your eyes out for that. If I am the Tennessee Titans, I'd honestly look at another corner. I would. Let's see who else is on the board. So we got Kyler Elam here. I think that'd be a phenomenal fit. Kyler Gordon as well. Both would be great. Pairing up Kyler Gordon with Elijah Molden, pretty sick. You could go after some edge players here. I do have some first-round graded edges. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Offensive line, again, I do not have anybody else who is rated as a first-round tackle. Tyler Smith is listed as returning. That kills me inside because I loved him. He was my number 32 player at the end of it. Man. But again, you kind of have to go wide receiver, don't you? You do. Whether it's David Bell, John Mechie, or Sky Moore. Again, this is not realistic. This is like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn. But you don't reach for somebody that you don't think is going to make that big of an impact. I'd rather say I'm not going to get a wide receiver at all and be able to get someone who's an absolute stud. Kyler Elam could be that. He could be. Damn. I mean, this is also some place Christian Harris could go to, kind of replace Rashawn Evans there. But this is a team that likes to go after guys later on. I'm going to go Kyler Elam here. he's still definitely worth a first round pick to me. I think he's phenomenal. So Kari Elam going right there. Last but not least, at number 32, you still have Kenny Pickett on the board, and I think a team should try to trade up for him. I do. I think he's a very solid quarterback. Just again, I'm not that big of a fan of him. I'm not. Also, you already know he's going to be going to the Lions at the start of next round. So let's find a team that might want Kenny Pickett. And that team, if I were them, New York Football Giants. Yeah. I'm going to be moving up here with the Packers. I'm going to be they're going to require a 4th round pick to move up to this spot. Yes, I've been trading 4th round picks like it's nothing, but there's going to be guys trying to trade up. And if you get that move, that's going to be phenomenal. Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh, going to be ending off the 1st round. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, I know you guys are going to disagree. This was just for my fun, my little shits and giggles. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.